have worked with the offices of Senator Tammy Duckworth, Congresswoman Schakowsky, and Congressman Schneider to host this program for you today. If there's anything you need from us, please let us know, and we're happy to help, and I hope you enjoy the program today. Thank you so much.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining us. Let me first do my thank yous, in particular start with Northbrook Library, who has been wonderfully gracious to us to open up their auditorium for today. They have opened up their auditorium for us repeatedly throughout the last couple of years, so very grateful to have them. For the speakers who are here today to talk about grants, this afternoon we had one this morning talking about grants to municipal organizations. This one obviously is to nonprofits and individuals. And then, of course, to Senator Duckworth's office and her team. I'll let her talk about where she is, which is all good and wonderful. And to my colleague, Congresswoman Schakowsky, we're here for you. And in the 10th district, we, over the last 16 months, have helped organizations, individuals, communities secure over $8 million in grants that make a significant difference in some of the projects we're working towards. And our goal is to clear the path, create opportunities, and make way through the various doors and gates to help folks like you, organizations, get the grants you need to deliver the services you provide that make our community stronger. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Congressman Schakowsky, and again say thank you to Northbrook Library and all the people here today.
I'm so happy that you're all here, and it turned out to be a beautiful day this afternoon. We are grateful, of course, to the Northbrook Library, which is technically in the 10th. In the 10th. So this is a combination 9th and 10th congressional district. Tammy Duckworth, who of course represents the entire state. I know so many of you struggle every day to make sure that you can keep your doors open and provide the services that you do to the community, and we want to help. Andrew Schakowsky, who is standing right over there, has a bunch of cards with him. I call him my money man, and his job is really to scour the various opportunities to find federal dollars, but actually also in the private sector as well, to help you do the work that you do to make our community so much better. So I really want to just thank you so much for being here today. I'm hopeful that we're going to be able to provide you, if not precisely where to go, the idea that there really are sources of funding that are out there. We want to help you determine which ones will work for you, and we want to help you navigate those. We can write letters of support. We can sometimes make phone calls on your behalf. We can check the status of a grant proposal that you've written. So all that we can do to make sure that you are successful. That's what we're in business in our district offices to do. And so, again, I want to thank you for coming. And I don't know who's next. Maybe from Tammy Duckworth's office. Here he is.
Thank you, Congresswoman. So, good afternoon. My name is Dan McManus. I'm the grants specialist. I'm already screwing up these presentations. Apologies. Dan McManus, I'm the grants specialist and senior outreach coordinator for Senator Tammy Duckworth. Thanks for coming out this afternoon. It's pretty inspiring to see so many community organizations and individuals who are so committed to their organizations and the populations they serve to come out here and spend their afternoon doing this. We're really excited to have some federal agencies, national organizations, and statewide organizations who are giving presentations today. A special thank you to Representative Schneider and Schakowsky for helping to put this together. Your staffs have been really great to work with. Andrew and Greg have done a really great job. I've just got a quick formatting note, and then we can get going with the presentation. Each of our presenters will be given about 10 or 15 minutes to give their presentations, and then we're going to have 5 minutes of Q&A take place afterwards. We're going to try to limit each Q&A to about 5 minutes, and I will be moderating, trying to keep us on pace to get everyone out of here on time. But with that, we can get going. Our first presenter is Susie Lee. She's the Director of Strategic Initiatives for Forefront. If you haven't worked with Forefront, you are in luck. Forefront is the nation's only statewide membership association for nonprofits, grant makers, public agencies, advisors, and their allies. They provide education, advocacy, thought leadership, and facilitate collective action around the nonprofit sector in Illinois. So I will turn it over to Susie.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I am Susie Lee. I'm the Director of Strategic Initiatives with Forefront. And as we said, our purpose is to build a vibrant social impact sector for all the people of Illinois. And what that really means is we want to make sure that our nonprofits are strong, our foundations are strong, they have a chance to talk to each other, and we all have a chance to complete the missions that we see best for our communities. So today I'm going to be talking to all of my nonprofit friends about some of the resources we have at Forefront that are available to everyone as well as our members. All right. So we are at a library. I'm a big fan of libraries. I still have my first library card I got when I was 6, and my writing is completely illegible, but I still hang on to it because it makes me very happy. We at Forefront also have a library, much smaller, but still a good library. And it is open Monday through Friday, noon to 5, and it is open to the public. So if you are able to come see us downtown, we're at 208 South LaSalle. And our library is open to the public, and you can access all of our foundation research, all of our nonprofit textbooks and guidebooks. Those are all available to the public. And we have lovely, friendly librarians like Sarah. So I wanted to let folks know, if you're not able to get there in person, member 411 at myforefront.org, that's how to get in touch with our library. So if you can't make it there in person, you can find out what resources are available. Some of them you can access online, and some of them you might be able to get copies of. So we have a friendly staff that's always willing to help. We also offer private research appointments to the public. So if you have an idea of what you're looking for, or you just have an idea of what you want to do, you can make an appointment at no cost with our librarians and really dig into the grant opportunities that are available. Forefront members also have the opportunity to have what we call wealth profiles. Those can be a profile of a foundation, of a corporate giving entity, or also of individuals that give frequently. You can request up to 20 profiles per week if you are a member of Forefront. All right, so other resources. We have computers available that are linked to Foundation Directory Online. This is a really powerful tool to see state, federal, and local foundations that give to causes like what you're working on. So you can give really specific searches to find out what you're doing and how it matches. We also have these funny, weird things that we call books. Some people still use them. Sometimes I think they're pretty darn good. How to turn your words into money. We were sort of sorting through and thought, which one looks like absolutely the most relevant to this topic? And I thought you really couldn't get more relevant than that. But we have hundreds and I think thousands of books that are available on grant writing, on starting a nonprofit, all of the best practices, and again, those are open to the public. So we have that collection and notebooks, in case you don't have anything to take those notes with you. Our library does not circulate, but we do have free books that are available all the time. So we have Change Philanthropy, you can see listed there, Give Smart, and lots of other resources that are available to take with you. So I hope I have piqued your interest in our library. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the grant process itself. So after this presentation, the staff are going to be sending out a 24-page PDF that has a lot of great details in it about sort of the basics of grant writing, where to find a grant, how to tell if a grant application is a good match for your organization and your work. But we're all very busy people, so I'm going to highlight for you which pages in that 24-page document are the most important. So the first pages I'm going to talk to you about are pages 8 and 9. So when you get your hands on it, you can take a note. 8 and 9 is what we call the prospect worksheet. And it sort of goes through all of these things listed here. And it breaks it down into a section of the funder that you're looking at and the organization that you represent. And you can talk about, okay, what are the 3 main focuses of the foundation, and write those down. And then the 3 main focuses of your organization and your work, and just quickly see, is there alignment or is there not alignment? That can save an enormous amount of time when you're figuring out which grant opportunities are the best fit for you. So the prospect worksheet will also go through geographic limits that foundations might have, types of support, and the schedule of when they offer letters of interest and grant proposals, when those are open and when deadlines occur. All right. So also in the PDF packet, definitely take a look at pages 10, 12, and 16. So on those, we have a sample letter of inquiry. A few years ago, a very kind and generous supervisor that I had said, always work smarter and work harder. And what they meant by that was find really good resources and use those. So we wanted to cut out a couple of middle steps for all of you, and we included a sample letter of inquiry that can get you started on sort of what those look like and what the best things to include are. We have a sample needs statement and a sample cover letter. All right, so when you found a grant that's a good match, a foundation that's a good match for your organization, you have some preliminary research, you know where you're going, then you want to make sure that you know exactly the guidelines that they're asking for. In a previous role that I had, I actually was fortunate enough to award grants, and I can't tell you how many times I received an application from wonderful people doing wonderful work that had nothing to do with the grant funds that I was giving out. So that is really unfortunate on both ends, that the person that filled it out spent probably a lot of time on that application, and I spent a fair amount of time reading that application, but there really was no way for us to come together. So again, prioritizing your prospects. When you use the worksheets that are in the PDF, you can really figure out which foundations are the best match. Find those connections and find introductions. So we really encourage folks to use your network, as broad as it might be, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and find someone you know that knows someone at the foundation or the organization that's giving that grant introduction. Even if it's not the person that is giving out the grant, starting that conversation and building a personal relationship is a great way to build towards one day getting a grant. This is a comic I like to use just to sort of highlight. Again, when I was reading grant proposals in my previous position, there were a lot of them that were long and beautifully written, as it says here. It was delightful, it was witty, it was compelling grant proposals. But at some point, it must ask for money. So be really clear about what you need, be succinct, be clear, and be upfront about what your ask is. And again, referring to that PDF, we have a couple of worksheets that will go through what the problem or the need is that your organization is addressing. And even more importantly than talking about the problems and the need is how your organization is a part of the solution. What are you measuring? How are you interacting with the community? What is the work that actually makes the change? That is the piece that makes someone say, yes, this is where our grant dollars are going. So make sure you have the conditions of the situation, the purpose, the goals, and what your organization does to actually make that change. All right, and then another cartoon just for some enjoyment. We're going to fund all of the proposals that have 3 appendices or less. Great decision. What this really means is there are often times when folks will attach lots of supporting documents, and that can be great. Most applications you'll see will very specifically say what attachments they need. Often those are financial documents. strongly encourage you not to attach anything else that isn't absolutely required, because in most cases, all right. So I promise to keep this short. Again, a PDF with 24 pages of phenomenal information. There's one more I actually really want to highlight before I give this over to questions. There is included in the PDF a negotiated ask page. Often, very much like folks, when you're negotiating for a salary at an organization, you might be tempted to just take the first offer, and everyone says, don't take the first offer. This is similar for the grant process. If you get a no, or even if you get questions, it's really important to have two backup options already in mind. And so we have this negotiated ask worksheet that talks about, okay, the idea is a good idea, but the equipment is too expensive. Here are a couple of alternatives. It kind of walks you through what that backup plan can be so that you're already ready to go. Because most organizations that are awarding grants, it isn't just a yes or a no, it's a conversation. So be as prepared as possible. Use this wonderful PDF and come visit us at the library at Forefront. Any questions?